Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1983 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Cleveland Indians and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for the Indians today is Larry McCall, whose record is 6-5 with a 4.18 ERA. And pitching for the Tigers today is Brian Kelly, whose record is 3-0 with a 3.90 ERA. And we won our third game in a row, beating the Indians yesterday 4-2 on the back of Chet Lemon, who had a big 2-run home run to give us the lead, and we never looked back at that point. Tom Filer, the Defiler, pitched pretty well. He went 6 innings, giving up 2 runs. And Weaver came back from his stint in AAA and got the save in yesterday's ball game. So, yeah, it was a good game overall. We head into game 2 today. Facing Larry McCall, as we showed in the last series, had given up 58 home runs last year. So we did end up getting 2 against him in the last start. Maybe we'll get a couple more today. Before we get started with today's game, I want to remind everyone that tomorrow is the amateur draft. That takes place after the game, but prior to the start of the game, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the amateur draft players available. And we'll take a look and see if there's someone that we can maybe snag if we get lucky at the end of the first round of the draft. We did make the playoffs last year, so that's going to be a problem as we will draft, I believe, either third or fourth from the bottom. So at any rate, let's go ahead and get today's game started. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate everyone following along. Like and or subscribe to the channel. Again, I just want to also mention that we will have some contests coming up very, very soon. And in fact, I started doing more card videos today. So keep your eyes peeled for that. At the end of the video, you may see over in the corner the suggested video, and that should be today's card video. So, okay. Brian Kelly on the mound. The current Indians have never faced him, apparently. And our bullpen is totally available today. We'll take a look at the lineup. I did something different today in trying to get all of our good players, our consistent players, into the lineup. I sat Glenn Wilson, who normally is in right field, and I put Kirk Gibson in right. He is not very good defensively in right field, but I thought, you know what? Let's have some more offense, and hopefully our defense will pull its weight. So that's the only major change. Let's go ahead and do the lineup rundown for the Cleveland Indians. Batting leadoff, playing third base, is Kevin Rhomberg. Batting second, playing first base, is Karl Pagel. Batting third and DHing is Gary Gray. Batting cleanup, playing center field today, is Dan Pasqua. Batting fifth, playing shortstop, is Jeff Moronko. Batting sixth and catching is Chris Bando. Batting seventh, playing left field, is Jerry Turner. Batting eighth, playing second base, is Juan Bonilla. And batting ninth in right field is Jerry Dybzinski. All right, let's take a look at Brian Kelly here. Kelly has been a nice surprise for us. He's making his fifth start on the season. 3-0 with a 3.90 ERA, 15 walks in 30 innings pitched. Looks like he's got his walks somewhat under control, as he's only given up 11 this year. Opponents are batting .228 against him, no complete games. His fastball tops out at 92 miles an hour. His ground ball percentage is almost 50%. Changeup, that's his best pitch. It's rated a 94. He's got a fastball and a slider, both below average, but decent. Overall, he is rated an 88, and he's 24 years old, going to arbitration in 1985. So a couple years from now, and let's take a look at his log. I know he hasn't faced... Well, that's weird. It said he's never faced Cleveland, right? But he did get a start against him this year, so maybe those numbers don't compile until next season. Nonetheless, he went 5 innings, giving up a run, 3 walks and 2 Ks. That was his first start of the season. So, okay, let's see the Tigers' defense here. We have all the good guys back in there, and Gold Glovers at first, second, and left field, and then you see Gibby out in right, rated a 75 defensively in right field, so below average. Here is Kevin Rhomberg leading off against Brian Kelly. 1-2 count, and Rhomberg strikes out, so Kelly gets his first K with the first batter. He's 1 for 1 on strikeouts. Karl Pagel up next with a base hit to right, and Gibson gets it back in. Runner on first for Gary Gray. Gray batting 154 versus right-handers. Hits a ground ball to short, and a 6-4-3 double play will get the Tigers out of that inning, and we go to the bottom of the first. Let's take a look at the Tigers lineup rundown for today's ball game. Batting leadoff, playing second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. Batting second in left field is Rickey Henderson. Batting third and DHing today is Greg Brock. Batting cleanup, playing third base is Mickey Hatcher. Batting fifth, playing first base is Eddie Murray. Batting sixth, playing shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting seventh in right field is Kirk Gibson. Batting eighth, playing center field is Chet Lemon. And batting ninth and catching today is Terry Kennedy. Okay, let's take a look at Larry McCall. 17 home runs so far this season. There's that big 58. That would have been a major league record if that happened in real life, as Bert Blyleven holds the major league record with giving up 50 home runs in a season. He is 6-5, which is a nice improvement over last year's 10-22. He's got a 4.18 ERA, 33 Ks and 88 innings pitched. Opponents are batting .297 against him. He's got a complete game. His fastball tops out at 90 miles an hour. A good ground ball pitcher, 47% of the time. His fastball is his best pitch, rated an 82, and he's got a couple other pitches right below average, a slider and a changeup. Overall, he is rated an 82. He's 30 years old, and he goes to arbitration at the end of this season. So at 30 years old, I don't know what kind of money he's going to be looking for, but I would imagine Cleveland is probably going to let him go. Here is the defense for the Indians today. Dan Pasqua moves over to center field, where he's rated a 77. And Dybzinski goes to right, and surprisingly, he is above average out there, rated an 81. And the new shortstop, Moronko, is rated a 90. He's the best defensive player out there in the field. So they shift some people around. Not sure if it's an improvement, but it doesn't look too terrible, as Sweet Lou leads off against Larry McCall. He's got a home run in his career against McCall. Hits a ground ball to Moronko. And there's one down. Next up is Rickey Henderson. He had the day off yesterday. And he drills it to dead center field. Pasqua tested early. Roams back, makes the catch, 2 down. And with 2 outs, Greg Brock steps in. Brock batting .278 with 7 home runs and a ground ball up the middle, snagged by the second baseman, Bonilla, and that'll do it. We go to the top of the second inning with Dan Pasqua leading off against Brian Kelly. Here's Dan Pasqua, 2-2 count, and Kelly strikes him out. If we could keep the walks to a minimum and Kelly can start ripping off some Ks, we are going to be in good shape with him. 1 down, Jeff Moronko. First time we're seeing him. He strikes out swinging. Back-to-back Ks. Ken Kelly strike out the side. He's going to have to get past the Bandalorian. He had a home run yesterday. A comebacker to Kelly. And Kelly tosses him out, so he handles it all himself. We go to the bottom of the second inning. There's no score. We've got Hatcher, Murray, and Trammell due up. Hatcher working to 3 balls. That's amazing for him. He hits a ground ball to first. There's 1 down. Next up is Eddie Murray. Another ground ball to first. So Pagel handled the first 2 ground balls. And Trammell, a grounder to second. So Tigers are hitless through 2. We go to the top of the third with Jerry Turner leading off. Turner batting .333 versus right-handers. And he slices it to the left for a base hit. Falls in front of Rickey Henderson. Leadoff man is on for Juan Bonilla. We're going to play straight away. Bonilla among the league leaders, batting .332. And a wild pitch allows Turner to go to second. All right, well, I have a bad feeling about this. We're going to pull the outfield in to prevent Turner from scoring on a single. And there's a fly ball to center. That's going to be deep enough to get Turner to go to third safely. And that go-ahead run is 90 feet away. Here's Dybzinski. I'm kind of wondering, don't they have another outfielder they could play? I mean, why not? I don't know. It's a weird to have a shortstop playing right field, but I guess that defensively he's capable of doing it. So we're going to pull the corners in with Turner. We'll give up the run if he hits it to the middle infielders. If it's hit to the corners, we'll go home. Nope, it's a base hit up the middle won't make a difference. The dibber comes through, and it's 1-0 Cleveland. Will Dybzinski be running here with 1 down? Ground ball to second. Good speed on the base path. Yeah, Dybzinski beats it out to second. The only play was to first. 2 down. Here's Karl Pagel. Pagel has got a lot of power. Pulls it to right, and there's another base hit. So Kelly not looking good here in the third. He's given up 2 runs and a couple base hits. And now I'm kind of concerned as Gray hits a grounder to second, and that'll do it. So a couple runs on the board for the Indians to take the early lead. It is 2-0. Now, I know we're going to score 2 runs in this game with McCall on the mound. How long do we go with Kelly if he's not pitching well? There we go. Gibby hits the first home run today against McCall. That is Gibson's 8th home run on the season. He hasn't been hitting well, but he has been depositing baseballs into the bleachers. Number 8 on the season, and it's 2-1 Cleveland. Lemon's old softy is going to drop it into left center field. Oh, it's going to be caught by Jerry Turner. That looked like it was going to be a duck snort for sure, as Turner makes a nice catch. So 1 down. Here's number 9 hitter Terry Kennedy, batting .327 with a couple homers. He pops it up near home plate, up the first baseline. And Bando makes the catch. And we're back to the top of the lineup with Sweet Lou. And Lou gets a hit. There we go. So Lou's back up to .299. I mean, you can see how over this stretch of really the second half of May and the early part here of June, a lot of our players are kind of come back to the pack, where Hatcher's the only Tiger batting over 300 right now, not including Kennedy because we traded for him. He doesn't have enough at bats. So Whitaker with 2 down. He's on first with Rickey Henderson. We're going to let Henderson take a cut. I don't feel comfortable having him steal, and he gets picked off anyway. Whitaker caught napping at first. That is a caught stealing technically. And now he's 4 for 7 on the year. That is a bummer. We do get a run in the inning. We go to the top of the 4th. 2-1, Clevetown. Here's Danny Pasqua leading off. Striking him out, 4 Ks for Kelly. Only at 36 pitches, so despite giving up the 2 runs, he has been efficient. Moronko gets a base hit into left. He's got okay speed, above average. So Moronko on first for Chris Bando. Switch hitting catcher. He's batting left-handed against a righty. And a pass ball. Okay, come on. Now, we've had a wild pitch, a pass ball. Now all we need is a balk for the trifecta of shame. And with a runner on second, I mean, it's almost a guarantee they're going to score when that kind of thing happens. But we're going to pull the outfield in anyway. With Chris Bando up. It's a ground ball to short. Moronko should hold. He does. And that will leave it up to Jerry Turner to drive the run in. This is a big at-bat here for Kelly. You don't want to give that run back so quickly. There's a high fly ball into left center field. Henderson makes the catch, and we strand that runner at second base. We go to the bottom of the 4th with Rickey Henderson leading off. He was at the plate when Whitaker was picked off first last inning. Henderson, his average is just going down, down, down. And we've been giving him plenty of rest. So, I don't know. He's going to need to get back into the groove here. Maybe that's the problem. We've given him too much rest. As Brock pops it up into foul ground. Tigers with 2 lousy hits against McCall. There's Mickey Hatcher, and Hatcher strikes out. That couldn't have gone any worse. It's a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the top of the 5th with Juan Bonilla leading off against Kelly. Slow roller to second. There's 1 down. Here's the Dibber. He had a base hit RBI first time up. Here he hits a grounder to first. 2 down for Kevin Rhomberg. Rhomberg's average hovering just above 300. And there's a base hit. Oh no, Gibby's out. There's that double? No, somehow Rhomberg holds to a single. With Gibson out there in right, you just never know. I have a feeling he would be stealing. I would send him in this situation with Karl Pagel up. Here we go. Well, Karl Pagel swinging away. A lazy fly ball in the infield. And Whitaker makes the catch. We're going to the bottom of the 5th. Murray, Trammell, and Gibson are due up. Let's go here. Let's get something going. Anything. There's a walk. Let's hit and run. It's time to get the base runners going here. Stay out of the double play. Base hit to center field. Murray will go to third. And it's first and third with nobody out. And Gibby at the plate. He crushed it once. Maybe he can do it again. Ground ball to short. Murray's going home. He is. So Gibson beats out the ground ball to prevent the double play and give himself an RBI. The game is tied at 2. We are going to send Gibson here. 73% chance of stealing second base. Let's see how we do. Fastball down the middle, and Gibby is caught stealing. So the Tigers are 0 for 2 today, and Gibson is 6 out of 10 on the season. Well, that's a rally killer, no doubt about it, as Lemon flips it to right, and that is out, number 3. The Tigers tie it up, though, at 2. We go to the top of the 6th, and we've got a couple of righties coming up here. So we're going to let Kelly go one more at least. Give him a chance at a victory. Gary Gray leading off. Ground ball to Murray. The Gold Glover picks it up. And there's out number 1. Next up, Dan Pasqua. I mean, I feel like we've seen Dan Pasqua forever in this game. But he's only 21 years old. And he wasn't even A rookie until 1984. This is his 85 Donruss card, his rookie card. So, I mean, when you see him betting 237, he's obviously ahead of schedule. And Pasqua gets a base hit to right. And he beats up, he goes for second and beats it out. I can't believe it. Not a lot of speed there as Pasqua now has 7 doubles. Oops. All right. So Moronko with 1 down, runner on second. What is it? I mean, he's got power for a shortstop somehow. We're gonna play straight away. I can't imagine Moronko's going to get a second hit today. There's a ground ball to second. That'll get Pasqua over to third. And now we have to consider some options here. Bando's going to bat left-handed. He's batting .262. So this is the better side of the plate. We could turn him around with a left-hander coming up. I guess I just feel like Kelly deserves an opportunity here. And we are, 42 and 17. So we're going to give him a shot. And an infield single. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that. A little broken bat base hit. And that's going to give the Indians the lead. I should have went with my instinct, but he's only thrown 72 pitches. So we have to believe that Larry McCall is going to give up some more runs here. So we get Kelly through 6. Let's take a look at the in-game stats. Player of the game so far has got to be Gibby with the home run. And Terry Kennedy will lead off. Kennedy 0 for 1 today. This is one of the few times where we go to the 6th inning and everybody's only been through the lineup twice. So 3rd time through, that's the charm with Sweet Lou at the plate with 1 down. Oh, that wasn't charming at all. 2 outs. And Rickey Henderson, base hit to center field. There we go. Do we want to go for 2? We do not. Pasqua, great arm. Maybe playing out of position, but we still got a rifle. We're going to send him to second. 77% chance against Bandalorian. And a curveball. That's a changeup, actually. That is the 34th stolen base for Rickey Henderson, and he has the lead now. He was tied with Otis Nixon before that stolen base. And Greg Brock has a chance here to tie it up. He's going to take ball 4. Is that intentional? It was an intentional walk. They're going to walk Brock to get to Mickey Hatcher, the team leader in RBI. He's got 40 RBI. Well on his way to another 100 RBI season. And a base hit to center field. Henderson scores. And it's all tied at 3. Brock cruises into third base. And Eddie Murray has a chance here to give the Tigers a lead. And if we get it, we will definitely take out Kelly. 2-0 count. Ground ball to third. What a putz. Murray had a chance. Could not get it done. We go to the top of the 7th. Score is tied at 3. A great job by Brian Kelly. We're not going to go 7 with him. We're going to bring in Roy Thomas, who has thrown 10 2/3 scoreless innings so far in a Tiger uniform. Only given up 3 hits. He's got 5 Ks. Does have a bluey. We saw him just yesterday. He pitched. Doesn't go to arbitration until next season. So kind of a career minor leaguer having a resurgence this year. Here is Juan Bonilla leading off against Roy Thomas. Bonilla pops it up into foul ground on the third base side, right on the chalk line. And I'm not sure who caught that. It looked like it should have been Hatcher probably. So 1 down for Jerry Dybzinski. The Dibbers 1 for 2 with a ribby. And he pops it up on the infield. This one is right to Whitaker. I'm sorry, Trammell. 2 down. And that's going to leave it up to you, Kevin Rhomberg, to get something going here in the 7th. And he drops it into left center field. Is that going to fall in? It'll be caught. Oh, wow. Henderson coming across on his horse. Makes the catch. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It's all tied at 3. We have Trammell, Gibby, and Lemon due up. There's Tram. Hits a slow roller off the end of the bat to second base. 1 out. Next up is Gibby. He's got a home run today. Here's a fly ball to center. All in all, McCall's kind of kept everybody in check today. Even Gibby with that home run. Hey, there's Chet Lemon with a base hit to right. Lemon does seem to be coming around a little bit. Will Terry Kennedy come through here? Let's get a little 2-out rally going. Kennedy strikes out on an inside pitch under his wrists, and we go to the top of the 8th. Great job by Roy Thomas keeping his streak alive. Now we're going to need a lefty, and that lefty is going to be Dave Rucker. Pagel, Gray, and Pasqua are due up, so a couple lefties in there. Starting with Karl Pagel, who's 0 for 2 with a walk against Dave Rucker in his career. Ground ball to Whitaker. There's 1 out. Gary Gray up next. He has not shown much this series. He's 0 for 3 today. Ground ball to Trammell. Rucker gets 2 easy outs to start off the 8th, and now Danny Pasqua's up. Pasqua batting 158 versus lefty. Struck out twice today. And a ground ball to Whitaker. Nicely done. Let's get some runs here against McCall. It's the top of the lineup. Sweet Lou leading off, 3 for 13 with a home run against McCall. And he flips it down the left field line. It's going to go off the wall for a double. And the leadoff man, the go-ahead run, is at second base. 7th double on the season for Lou. And Rickey Henderson at the plate. We need him to hit to the right side, get Whitaker over so that Brock can get a very exciting sac fly. There we go. Good job by Henderson. Moving Whitaker over. They're going to pull the infield in against Brock. That is the smart thing to do. Now, Brock is 0 for 6 in his career against McCall. He had that intentional walk last time up. Will they walk him intentionally again? No, they can't, because the infield's in. You can't do 2 things in this game. You should be able to, though. Full count. And a base hit to left. Whitaker scores. And it's 4-3 Detroit. Nicely done. The Brock Ness monster comes through. And it is hit and run time for Sticky Mickey. Let's go. Ground ball to first. Brock will advance. And that will do it for McCall as they bring in Bobby Cuellar. His 16th appearance on the season, 1-3 with a 3.77 ERA, 31 innings pitched, more walks than Ks. Opponents are batting .239 against him. Fastball just a tick under 90. Ground ball percentage is 43.4%. His splitter, that is his out pitch with a fastball and a curve. Overall rated a 75. He's 30 years old and he goes to arbitration at the end of the season. Let's tack on another run. It's Eddie Murray at the plate. Let's give us a little cush. Murray walks. We'll take the free pass and give Trammell a shot here. Trammell's 1 for 3 today. It's been a while since he had a big hit. Won't happen here. Ground ball to second. And we go to the 9th inning. We've got a right-hander, a switch hitter, and a lefty due up. And I think that means back-to-back days for our closer, Roger Weaver. Hello, Weaver. 22nd game, 3-2, 3.15 ERA. More walks than strikeouts, but we're not worried about that. He gets everybody out. As you can see, the last 2 seasons, he's been lights out. 12 saves, 1 bluey. 89-mile-an-hour fastball. He's got a sinker. He's got a splitter, both above average. He is 28 years old. He's going to arbitration. And I have no idea if we're going to trade him or not. Because we can't keep all these guys. Everybody's going to arbitration. Okay, so here we are in the 9th inning. Gibson will come out. And we're going to bring in Glenn Wilson defensively. There we go. And we look good otherwise. Here is Jeff Moronko, 1 for 3 with a strikeout today. Full count, and Weaver blows it by him with a sinker. I guess he didn't blow it by him, but he wasn't even close to hitting it. Weaver tried to even out his walk to strikeout ratio. Here's Chris Bando. Bandalorian, 1 for 3 with a ribby. And he strikes him out with a splitter. Crowd is into it. They're on their feet. We're down to the final out. Can he strike out the side? Jerry Turner, he's no joke. He's got a lot of power and seems to hit the Tigers well. Batting .333 versus righties. And he strikes out the side. Holy crap. Roger Weaver, that minor league stint did some good for him. Tigers win 4-3. Handshakes, butt slaps, sloppy steaks. Oh, wait, the draft starts now? I'm not ready now. I'm not prepared. Oh, man. I thought it happens prior to the game. Should I end the video here and do a separate video? No, you know what? I'm here. You're here. Let's just do the draft. I'm excited to go. We didn't have a draft spectacular, and we can't do it now because it's already started. That's kind of a bummer. But what I will say before we get started with the draft, there's not a lot of good players in this draft. And that's the bad news. If you want to stack the bad news, the other bad news is we are drafting very late in the first round. So we're going to be lucky to get anybody available. I'll always take the best player available in the first round. But what we need now is we need some help offensively in the minor leagues. We've done so many trades that, where we've given away good minor league talent to try to find some help now, that we've really cost ourselves offensively for the future. We don't really have anybody. We have maybe Roberto Kelly, as you can see right here, and Barry Larkin coming up the pipe. So I feel good about that, but otherwise, we don't really have much to go on. So I guess we're not going to do the amateur draft spectacular. We are going to go ahead and get started. So let's go with the draft. Here we go. Okay, a lot happening there. We're going to make our first pick, but let's recap as I think it's going to think of... okay. So Jay Bell is the #1 overall draft pick going to Minnesota. Now, while you look these over, let me say a few things. Okay, so for all the new incoming players, I have made sure that their position is the correct position. I have also made sure that they have a baseball card that represents them, whichever one is either their rookie card or a minor league card for their earliest card, I guess. All right. Also, I've gone into the editing and made sure that any players of color are represented appropriately in the game. Okay. And that's it. I think those were all the major things that I made sure that were complete. And I even double-checked it last night in advance, not knowing that it was actually going to happen today. So, well prepared. Okay, so #1 overall draft pick was Jay Bell going to Minnesota. They need some help offensively. Then we have Greg Vaughn going to Pittsburgh. That is a bad team. Atlanta going from like worst to first. They got Felix Jose, and that's not so shabby. Daniel Fernandez to Texas. Daniel Fernandez is a career Mexican League player. I found this photograph of him as a coach, but he played a very long time in the Mexican League, never played in the majors. But I always appreciate when Clay, the CEO, when he adds these players. I find that to be fun and kind of a nice thing to do for players who maybe never got the opportunity they should have for whatever reason. Ruben Amaro Jr. Ruben Amaro, I guess is what he was known as in his playing days, but Ruben Amaro Jr. for Toronto, right fielder. There's a lot of offense here, and we need offense. Charlie Montoyo, who is currently the manager of the Toronto Blue Jays. Mike Bordick goes to the Giants. El Duque, Orlando Hernandez, defected from Cuba, right? And he is going to be on the Oakland A's. Now, he's 17 years old in this game. I don't think he made his major league debut until he was like 28 or later even. I can't remember exactly. But now he's going to have a chance to have a complete career. Manny Lee, shortstop, goes to Montreal. Kevin Kaufman, starting pitcher for California. That's not great. Dennis Springer, is he a knuckleballer? Yeah, he's a knuckleballer. And Craig Biggio, future Hall of Famer. He goes to Milwaukee. They could really use him on the Brew Crew. Then we have another fantastic player, Steve Finley. Did play for the Padres in his career. Played for many teams. Actually a great player. And I think deserves some Hall of Fame credit, perhaps. Kevin Moss, the big bat from New York. He gets drafted by Houston. Came up late in his, not late in his career, but I think it was late in the season for the Yankees, and he hit like 8 home runs. And he was going to be the man, but just didn't pan out. Hal Morris from the University of Michigan. First baseman for the Orioles. They need a first baseman. Jack Armstrong, John Oramos. They have Brian Holman going to Boston. Darren Reed to Kansas City. Mike Magnante, the Moneyball A's. He's the guy that got cut. Todd Zeal, Steve Sparks, and the great Kevin Brown is drafted by the Yankees. That doesn't seem fair. 6-pitch pitcher, big fastball, 60% ground ball percent. That's as high as we've seen in this game. So now it's up to us. Okay, we'll make sure we keep it moving along if you're sticking with us here. I like to go by scouting. That's what we pay our scouts for. The best player available is Steve Olin, who I'm sure everyone at this point knows that he was killed in that boating accident in Little Lake Nellie in Claremont, Florida. Jose De Jesus, I don't know who that is. I don't care. Now, so Joey Cora is the best batter available in the game, rated a 7.5 on the scouting scale. Not a lot of power, but good defense, and he could get on base. The best starting pitchers available, couple good ones here. Jose Rijo would have had a great career if not for injuries, and also the lefty Al Leiter had a nice career. We have a reliever, Luis Alicea, second baseman. I think I would still go with Joey Cora. Some other starting pitchers in here. Gil Heredia. When I had season tickets for the Oakland A's, every time I couldn't go to every game. I gave some away to clients and stuff, and every game I'd go to, it seemed like Gil Heredia was the starting pitcher that year. There's Matt Williams. Do we go for Matt Williams? Let's take a look at Matt Williams. He's not going to be ready for a while. Third baseman, sound defensively. Whoa, he's only got a 63 power in this game. That can't be right. Well, that's high school level power. So maybe his power will develop. His profile will change, obviously, over the years, depending upon how we spend for minor league development. How could I not go with Matt Williams? Let's just take a look down the list to make sure there's nobody else that we're missing here. Yeah, there's nobody else that excites me like Matt Williams does. Don't take that out of context. Phrasing. How could we not? I mean, I wouldn't mind Riho or Al Leiter. Perhaps they'll be available in the next round. You never know who's going to be picked. So we are going to, and if not, we got a couple other pitchers here. I like Eric Hansen as well. Kenny Hill, I like. So, okay, we're going to take Matt Williams and move it along. So with the 24th pick in the first round, the Detroit Tigers takes Matt Williams, third baseman. And a bunch of people get taken. Okay, let's see here. Where are we? Oh, let's scroll. There's Matt Williams. So Steve Olin, to wrap up the first round. Steve Olin went to Seattle. Joey Cora goes to Cincinnati, who won the World Series last year. So they got a good second baseman there. And then we start with round two. Alex Cole, Matt Stark, the catcher, to Pittsburgh. Jose De Jesus to Atlanta. Luis Alicia to Texas. Jeff Blauser, pretty damn good shortstop. Stan Fanzer to Cleveland. Steve Decker, Scott Hemmond. Jerome Walton, pretty good outfielder, good fourth outfielder. Goes to Montreal. Al Leiter goes to Houston. Ronnie Gant goes to Philadelphia, a great outfielder. Jose Rijo goes to St. Louis. Eric Hansen goes to the Mets. And Rolando Orojo goes to the Dodgers. Enrique Burgos. So let's take a look and see who's available. I think we have one of our good starting pitchers available. Okay, so we have Kenny Hill. We do like Kenny Hill. Gil Heredia doesn't have a good fastball, if I recall. 89 miles an hour. Kenny Hill, also 89 miles an hour fastball. I want to see some heat. Troy Neal. Nope. I don't like Kevin Ritz. He was a Detroit Tiger draft pick and the number one overall pick by the Colorado Rockies when they did the expansion draft. Paul Sorrento, he's got some pop at first. Can you imagine a future of Paul Sorrento at first and Matt Williams at third? Although Rickey Jordan was the better hitter at first base. And Carlos Quintana had a couple good years. Drew Denson. Okay, so do we go? We have a lot of starting pitchers. We have a ton of starting pitchers. I think, let's take a look at the difference between Rickey Jordan and Paul Sorrento. Paul Sorrento, not good defensively in the future, perhaps. Doesn't show power, but he did have power. He's certainly not fast. Skills. You can hit a sacrifice fly. Power versus left. I mean, yeah, nothing's developed yet. So we're really just swinging in the dark here. Rickey Jordan. I do like Rickey Jordan. He's got good contact. He's going to be a good hitter. It actually shows that he has more power than Sorrento now. Defensively, he's already off to a better start. I say we take Rickey Jordan, and we can have two Ricky B. Rickeys. I'm not interested in Dan Rohrmeyer, nor am I interested in Troy O'Neill at first if I have a choice. So we're going to take Rickey Jordan and keep it moving. There we go. Let's see how the second round plays out. So Tigers took Rickey Jordan, and then Seattle took Scott Livingstone, Detroit Tiger draft pick. Pretty good player. Batted 300, I think, a couple of times. And then Minnesota took Troy Neal. They always go for the scrubby players. But at least Pittsburgh made a good pick. With Gil Heredia, Ken Hill goes to Atlanta. Former Tiger Rob Rickey goes to Toronto. Juan Nieves goes to the Padres. Glenn Allen Hill Sr. goes to Baltimore. His son is going to be a big leaguer before too long. I believe he's an Arizona Diamondback outfielder. Willie Blair, former Detroit Tiger. We got him from the Padres in a big 10-player deal with Brad Ausmus and other hot trash. But I always like Willie Blair. Carlos Quintana. Oh, Quintana goes to the Dodgers, and Sorrento goes to the Yanks. Okay, let's go ahead and make our third round pick. I believe there's 5 rounds. Let's see who's available. We have Judge Wapner. We have Todd Stottlemyre. Kevin Ritz is still available. Now, okay, Mark Guthrie, good relief pitcher. Greg Swindell, I like him. John Smiley, I believe he's a left-hander, correct? Yeah, he's a lefty. I don't really like left-handed starting pitchers. Buddy Groom, Detroit Tiger. Yeah, I feel like at this point we're just drafting people with names. Now, we could use another catcher, and Chris Hoyles was a Detroit Tiger. He went to Baltimore. We traded him to Baltimore. Who did we get for him? It was a big deal. Oh, Fred Lynn. The Tigers got Freddie Lynn for Chris Hoyles back then. You know what? Why not draft a catcher here in the third round? I don't know. We're drafting names, folks. That's what we're doing here. I like Chris Hoyles. He did have a couple good years of power. And we don't have any. We have Rich Gedman we just traded for in the minors, but we don't really have any catchers that I like other than Gedman. All right. I think with our third round pick, we are going to take Chris Hoyles. So we've got 3 good bats so far. Let's see, any other major names wrapping up the third round was Mark Guthrie going to Seattle. Dave Haas, former Tiger, goes to Cincinnati. And then Minnesota starts out round 4 with Lou Frazier. Mike Blowers, solid third baseman, goes to Texas. Kevin Ritz finds a home in Cleavetown. Todd Stottlemyre to the Gigantes. Charlie Hayes goes to Baltimore, playing third. That's nice. Greg Swindell goes to Philly. Some relievers here. John Smiley. Why do the Dodgers and the Yankees always make good pitches? Good pickup for the Yankees with John Smiley. John Mitchell, I believe he was kind of a washout, right? In Boston. Okay, let's go and make our next pick. Keeping it moving. Okay. I'm just looking for hitters. Carlos Martinez. We already got a first baseman. Cheeto Martinez. Maybe a good 4th, 5th outfielder. Torey Lovello. We like him. He was a Detroit Tiger draft pick. Craig Worthington. Scott Leyes. A bunch of catchers. I mean, shoot, there's really not a lot here. Why don't we find ourselves a reliever that's got a lively fastball? So we're going to click on Steve Reed, 86, 90 for Chuck Malone, 91 for Satoru Komiyama, Randy Hennis. These are all 89. Larry Carter, 91. Kevin Wickander, 90 for Wade Taylor. 91 for Jose Melendez. Brad Brink. Okay. So, Larry Carter was 91. That was the best of those. What's his scouting? So he's in the top tier here. He was at 91. What is his arm? He's a righty. He could start. We might just convert him right to a relieving role with all the starters we have and see if he can't be of use to us in the bullpen. So we're going to take Larry Carter, Sir Lawrence Carter, with our pick here in the bottom of the 4th round. We go to the 5th round. I don't know if there's another round or not. Cincinnati wrapped it up. Oh, so Seattle took Kobayama. That kind of makes sense. They do tend to lean toward players from Japan. Randy Hennis, Chuck Malone will lead off the 5th round. Marcus Lawton. I mean, these are just not any great names here at all. Anybody going to surprise us name-wise? Craig Worthington goes to Boston. Leas goes to St. Louis. Yeah, nothing else here. Okay, so we're kind of down to the scrubs. I mean, I guess we could say we were scrubbing it last inning. All right. I'll be like Luis Sojo. He can play anywhere, right? For the most part. I mean, he's already in the 60s for every position. We like players like that, especially if they can produce. Mark Lemke had a nice career for Atlanta. Quinn Mack, kind of a speedy guy. Greg Briley, speedy fella. We haven't drafted any outfielders yet. What does Quinn Mack look like? He's a left fielder. This is where I wish I could just have someone shout out to me who to take. And that way I don't have to think about it. I kind of want to take a outfielder in this spot. Greg Briley, he had an okay career. He's got good speed. We could use a speedy guy as a 4th outfielder option. Also a left fielder. We're going to take Greg Briley without putting too much more thought into it. Then, we know his name. So we're going to take Greg Briley. Will there be a 6th round pick? There will be a 6th round pick. We got just some real scrubs there. Julian Yan to Seattle. Scott Leas. Mark Lemke goes to Atlanta. That's where he belongs. Wally Ritchie to Toronto. John Orton to Cleveland. The other Chris Carpenter goes to Oakland. AJ Sager. Luis Sojo goes to California. Quinn Mack to the Cubbies. Rob Prenatal goes to Boston. I'm sure some of you just snickered for a moment. Let's pull up to make our final pick here. Thanks for watching, guys. We still have to do the last little bit here to close this thing out. Do we take a Japanese pitcher? Masato Yoshi. We like the name. There he is right there. Not a lot of heat. He is one of the 5 best rated players left. There is Joe Oliver. There is Benito Santiago, great defensive catcher. Why is he so low in this game? I don't know. There are some shorties. Wayne Housey. We don't need any more catchers. Okay, which of these pitchers has the best fastball? Speed. 89, 89, 89, 89, 90 for Barry Manuel, and 90 for Chris Howard. So it's going to be Barry Manuel. That's who we're going to take with our final pick. Give ourselves another reliever. Doug Pyatt. I thought he was a hitter. Nope. I was wrong. Okay. So there we go. We're going to take Barry Manuel, close this baby up. Joe Oliver goes to Seattle, and Benito Santiago, Mr. Irrelevant, going to Cincinnati. That is a good final pick. Smart pick. Okay. Let me know in the comments if you thought that I did a good job there. If you understand my reasoning. Let's be quick about this. Be quick like bunnies. We've got Tigers now have an 8-game lead over New York. Boston's won 6 in a row. Let's go ahead and get to the headline news. The Brainiac Baseball Daily Beat. We hired a new reporter yesterday, James K., and he wrote War and Peace right off the map. And then you know what? He took the day off. He didn't even care to write. Maybe it was a late game. I don't know. But James K. letting us down. That's fine. Maybe he had nothing good to say. Let's go ahead and take a look at transactions. We'll look at all types, all teams. We've got to scroll on down. Scroll back up a little bit, see if there's any trades or anything that happened today. No, we saw this information. The minor trade that was made there. Minor trade in personnel, but Baltimore getting that big payday was a major deal there. And let's just make sure that there's nothing mixed in. Okay, so there we go. So nothing to go on there. Let's pull up the box score and get out of here. Player of the game, probably Gibby. No, who had the game-winning hit there in the end? I feel like I've already forgotten. Oh yeah, it was Greg Brock had the base hit. So we're going to give it to Greg Brock for winning the ball game in the 8th there with that single. And Gibby had a home run. Not great on the base path. We went 1 for 3. And Dave Rucker gets his 5th win in relief. Roger Weaver gets his 13th save. Not a bad performance from Brian Kelly. Did not walk a guy. That is progress, folks. That is exactly what we want to see from him. And really, only 1 home run from Larry McCall. So he is improving. That was the 18th home run he's given up this year. So that's going to do it. We're going to come back tomorrow with Game 3 of the 3-game series. Until then, everyone, have a great night.